What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys week 5 of the PTL, or the Pokemon Tri-League. We are taking on Brett and the Magcargo Brett-Aviv. Brett's a really cool dude. He will be uploading at some point this season. I highly doubt that I'm going to remember to, plug his channel. Um, Put it in the description after he's started uploading. Yeah, that's kind of that. But Brett's team consists of Kyurem-Black, Megalopony, Klefki, Gliscor, Blacephalon, Araquanid, Thundurus-Therian, Z-User, Miltank, Uxie Z-User, and a Alolan Dug trio. I wasn't expecting Gliscor and a Alolan Dug trio, neither came. I actually feel like I definitely over-prepped for the Gliscor, considering I didn't think it was coming, because I thought it had a horrific matchup against my team. And yeah, I'm a little bit sad that I over-prepped for that, and I don't see it though. I'm happy to not see Araquanid, because I think Webs could have been a bigger problem for my team. And Uxie, I didn't want Mementoing all over me, and it's fat, and Megalodios can't really set up on it. And yeah, it's annoying. His team is obnoxious, mostly because things that are running speed pretty much outspeed my entire team. Now that's not everything. But it basically means my walls kind of suck, because he's got like triple wall breakers on his team and double cleaners, triple cleaners. I mean, you could think of it both ways, but in my mind, I see Kyurem-Black as a wall breaker, Megalopony as a wall breaker, Thundurus-Therian as a wall breaker, and then you potentially have like Scarf Thundy as a cleaner. Blacephalon's definitely a cleaner. It can function as a breaker, but I think against my team, it's definitely a much better cleaner. And you can, I don't know, you could have like Scarf Kyurem-Black clean, you could have Megalopony clean. So, I mean, that's kind of like the core of his team, is those four as offensive mons. I'm scared of the Blacephalon, and like I said in team preview, I have nothing for it. Like, just like I had nothing for Chandelure against River, I have nothing for Blacephalon. Like, it's just it's such a hard typing for my team to switch into, because I'm so weak to Ghost already, that the things that could maybe take Ghost hits neutrally don't like the fire hits. So yeah, it's just kind of it's up in the air there for that sort of stuff. So I'm really not sure what to expect coming out here, but I knew definitely Klefki and Miltank are going to be defensive mons. 100% they're going to be defensive in some way, shape, or form. Zapdos, if you haven't seen my team builder, you should check that out. I did post it yesterday, should have been up yesterday. So let's run through it really quickly though. Physically defensive Zapdos with Rocky Helmet. Discharge HPAs for the Gliscor, which didn't even show up, although it is there to hit the Thundurus-Therian as well, if need be. Defog and Roost. Registeel is a meme set, kind of, that looks like it probably won't work against this team, because I was thinking of setting it up on something like Uxie. I thought it'd be really easy to set up on, but I'm running Block, Amnesia, Stealth Rock, and Seismic Toss, and I didn't even think about Seismic Toss against Blacephalon, which was one of the main things that I was kind of building to wall with the Amnesia set. Scarf Mienshao with High Jump Kick, U-Turn, Knockoff, and Rock Slide. Rock Slide was there for the Araquanid and the Thundurus, so I'm glad I see at least one of them so that I don't have a wasted move slot. Megalodios is Dragonance with Zen Headbutt, Dragon Claw, and Ice Beam. Jolly Megalodios' Ice Beam still OHKO's Gliscor, so I thought that was useful. And I figured the things that I'm going to hit with Earthquake anyways, i.e. Klefki and Alolan Dug trio. Alolan Dug trio should still take a ton of damage from the Ice Beam, and I need it chipped anyways. And Klefki I figured would have the Magnet Rise for the Mamoswine anyways. Mamoswine's Assault Vest with Ice Shard, Knockoff, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. And Wishy-Washy is Choice Specs with U-Turn, Surf, Scald, and Ice Beam. It does get like pretty horrific coverage, but if I'm being honest with you guys, Choice Specs Wishy-Washy blows him back on paper, at least. It absolutely obliterates him. So I was considering leading that, but I was really scared of like a Klefki lead with Thunder Wave, because I don't want my Specs Wishy-Washy getting paralyzed despite it being slow. So that's probably a misplay overall, because I think Wishy-Washy was just such a good lead. I ran the calc after the game against fully Spadef Klefki, and it's a 93.8% chance to OHKO with Choice Spec Surf. So I definitely should have just led Wishy-Washy, clicked Surf, and seen some carnage. So I am just going to lead with the Mienshao though. as he's going to leave with Klefki. I was kind of just hoping that he wasn't going to leave with Klefki. I don't know what else I expected, like Miltank maybe. I'm scared of the Thunder Wave here, so I'm going to go Zapdos as he reveals to be a Toxic set. Now, I've been seeing this a lot recently with dual status, and I'm a little bit scared of that. So I'm just going to discharge it and hope that he doesn't have T-Wave. He shows off Foul Play as his only move and takes my Rocky Helmet damage. And then I think here I'm going to double. Yeah, okay. So I go into Registeel here as he goes into Thundy, and he lands a Focus Blast. So yet another low accurate move that lands against me in this league seems to be sort of something that I'm not going to be able to play around. I guess my luck is just like a magnet, and these moves just keep hitting me all season. So either way, I'm going to click block this turn, which is, you know, it's whatever. And then I'm going to set up my rocks as he shows the U-turn to get out of the block, and he crits me for 8. Probably won't matter in the end, as Blacephalon comes in on the Stealth Rocks. So kind of obnoxious, but I can bring in Mamo, and then he shows up to be sub, so I know he's not Scarf Blacephalon at the very least, and AV Mamo still doesn't eat hits well. Knockoff, like, always killed Blacephalon, so I knew it would break the sub, and it was kind of safe to catch whatever was switching in. I clicked it again here, although Earthquake might have been better, just because I kind of expected Thundurus to come in. And Earthquake would have definitely probably been the better play here, but I do click it again on the Miltank switching in. And then I think I go into my Zapdos, predicting him to go for Rocks. Nope, sorry, I go for Mienshao here as he Milk Drinks. And I could have clicked High Jump Kick here. I'm not sure if he lived the High Jump Kick or not. His leftovers are gone, so I know he's not Choppleberry, and I wasn't entirely sure. I didn't bother running the calc to see if High Jump Kick killed. Probably a little bit of a lazy play on my part to not calc High Jump Kick, but again, he's got his Ghost alive, so I don't really want to be clicking High Jump Kick freely. And so I'm kind of regretting not just having Drain Punch on the set at this point, but I am just going to U-turn, and we see how little the U-turn does. I mean, he's physically defensive based on that damage. Based on the knockoff damage, I found that out, and I switched into Zapdos on what I expected to be a Thunder Wave, actually, as he Toxics, and I'm already Toxics, obviously. So he is faster, which I was intending on because I'm running minimal speed IVs, or I took away like 2 speed IVs so that the Miltank would outspeed me. Seismic tosses me, takes the Rocky Helmet damage, and I can just roost up. We're still taking passive Toxic damage though, so Zapdos is not in a great spot here. People seem to be prepping hard for the Zapdos, as another discharge will probably take him out, but I don't want to. I want health back on this thing, so I'm going to Roost this turn as he's paralyzed, and he's going to get fully paralyzed. And now I'm going to double into my Zapdos, because this is about as healthy as my Zapdos can get. And I'm going to Dragon Dance on the Miltank as he's going to miss a Toxic, I believe. Yep, and then I'm not killing him, so it's not the end of the world, but he's going to hit me with a Toxic now. I could have Dragon Danced again and potentially put myself in a really good spot, but the Klefki was still taking fairly minimal damage from a Zen Headbutt, and Foul Play was killing me at +1. So instead I decided to just kill the Miltank here with Zen Headbutt, and I'm going to swap on the Klefki. We're just going to, yeah, so the Klefki's going to switch in, and he's going to Magnetize on my Mienshao switch. Here I ended up clicking Knockoff as he defogs away my rocks, so I want to get those back up because they're very useful for Kyurem, Thundurus, and Blacephalon. And that's something I noticed in prep, is that his removal options are, like, he's basically got to bring defog Klefki every single week, otherwise rocks really hinder his team, which is the main reason why I brought Registeel. So now I'm going to double in a Wishy-Washy as he's going to get a Toxic off, no big deal, no big deal. And Wishy-Washy is going to be able to blow this thing back with a Surf. Obviously, Foul Play is not doing a whole lot to me because I'm especially offensive. And now he's going to bring in Thundurus. This was a tough decision. So rocks are off the field, so Thundurus obviously can obviously switch in again later. And I did just click Surf again because I thought he might try and overpredict here. Now, there wasn't necessarily a reason for him to think that, but I did think that Mamoswine was kind of an easy switch in. So basically, after he shot off the Shadow Ball with Blacephalon, he probably realized that I was Assault Vest at that point. And Assault Vest Mamoswine can 100% 1v1 Thundurus-Therian right now. So, especially because he doesn't know that I don't have Icicle Crash, and Icicle Crash will blow this thing back. So I did think that Mamoswine was a fairly obvious switch in on my part, and so I ended up just going for the Surf. as he did click Thunderbolt. So I'm not sure what he expected there, if he was going to like live the hit with Mamoswine or not, but like if he had to U-turn against Mamoswine here, that seems like such a horrible play to me because Mamoswine just destroys everything that comes in. So I'm just going to bring in Registeel. I just want to get up rocks again for the Blacephalon, and this thing, if it wants to switch it in, he hits another Focus Blast, and now he's just going to kill me with a Dark Pulse, revealing the last move of his set. I'm going to my Latios here. I totally blanked on the fact that this is a Z-user, and I'm going to just attack it. I was considering Dragon Dancing, and I'm glad I just attacked. I do just go for the Dragon Claw. It does slightly less damage than Ice Beam, but it's still 2 KO, so it doesn't really matter. And Ice Beam is obviously not hitting the Kyurem-Black as hard as Dragon Claw is, so if he wanted to switch that in for some reason, then I've got the Dragon Claw. He doesn't know that I have it, and now he does, as he is actually Black Hole Eclipse to take on my Mega Latios. I'm assuming to take on the Mega Latios, because anything else he would have hit with the Z move, i.e. Slowking. Excuse me. Actually, he could have had this to take on Rotom Heat a little bit better too. I'm not entirely sure what his thought process was there. But there you go. So Mega Latios dies, and I've basically just sacked 3 things in a row to the Thundurus. It is a big problem for me, apparently, right now. Mamoswine's going to come in. I am just going to click Ice Shard. There's no way that I'm letting this thing get damage off on me. And in comes the Lopunny. I did consider going for Earthquake there, but instead I'm just going to go into Zapdos and hope I get the Para. Because if I get the Para, I can Roost up, and then he's in a really bad spot. But Power Up Punch comes off. And I'm going to obviously die to the +1 return afterwards. He has taken some good Rocky Helmet Chip, though, I'm not going to lie. I U-turned there because I figured High Jump Kick was so obvious. Why would you leave Mega Lopunny in on me when High Jump Kick's so obvious? But I guess his thought process here, and I figured this out after the game by myself. I didn't ask him this, but I guess his thought process was if he sacks Lopunny here, it's not the end of the world because he can go into Blacephalon and get up a sub. Which then beats Mamoswine because I either have to sack Mienshao, which is still useful for the Kyurem-Black, or I have to switch into Mamoswine on his sub turn, break the sub, and then I'm not faster afterwards, and it sort of like ends poorly for the Mamoswine. I didn't run the Calc on Ice Shard because that would have been good to know against the Blacephalon, but basically, I refrained from clicking High Jump Kick because his Ghost was there the entire time. That's why I kind of hate this move, and I probably won't end up running High Jump Kick for the rest of the season against teams with Ghosts. And actually, let's just run through the rosters of all these teams to see how many have Ghosts. Okay, so our next opponent has a Ghost. That team doesn't have a Ghost, so who knows, if I bring Mienshao, then I would probably bring it against that team. That team also doesn't have a Ghost. That team does have a Ghost. Actually, that team has a Ghost. That team has a Ghost. That team does not have a Ghost. That team has a Ghost. That team has a Ghost. And that team has a Ghost. So it seems to be fairly predictable. It's a fairly predictable move by itself anyways, but that's just sort of my thought process there. So I'm going to U-turn out and sack off Mamoswine. I was kind of a little bit miffed that he stayed in, but there you go. Mamoswine's just going to die. And now Mienshao is going to come in. This time I'm going to protect the This time I'm going to predict the Blacephalon switching in. There's no way he doesn't try to go for the differential here. I know how Brett plays, and he's been playing extremely greedy all match. He's been making predictions based on what he thinks I'm going to do, and I'm going to catch him on it this time. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late, but I am going to catch the Blacephalon switching in on my knockoff and just blow that thing back. Again, like, there was no reason for me to click High Jump Kick against him, and I went for the differential, and it paid off. Kyurem-Black's going to come in. We're going to get a knockoff on this thing and see that he's Assault Vest. If for some reason he misses a move... Oh, no, he's got Dragon Claw. So, it didn't matter. And we are going to take the 2-0 loss. I'm a little bit proud of how chipped I got his team. I'm a little bit miffed about myself, about not just leading Wishy-Washy, because that Klefki turned out to be a huge problem, especially for the Zapdos. It wore down my Zapdos early, and Zapdos was essentially my only Mega Lopunny answer, so that it ended a little bit more poorly than I was expecting. I also wish that I had brought a special Mega Latios rather than a physical one to be able to break through Klefki a little bit better, because the physical set still couldn't touch the Klefki, and so a special set would have been able to break through Miltank faster and still would have been able to take on the Klefki a little bit better. So yeah, I'm just a little bit miffed there, maybe like a Dragon Pulse set or something like that. So I'll definitely be changing up how I think about prep for next week. Unfortunately, we moved to 4-1 plus 2. Our differential's garbage because we've won all our games 1-0. And I can't take anything away from that because we've played some really tough opponents to start off the weeks. But at the moment, we were sitting in 3rd place, and I think we're probably a little bit lower than 3rd now. Next week, we take on Greninja Plays and the Grand Prairie Greninjas. He's got a very interesting team, and we will talk about that in the team builder. So until next week, guys, I will catch you later.